jab, uppercut, leave you laid out on the floor. Try to duck and roll, hit and miss, now you counting stars. Should've practiced more, should've hit the mask, get out there more. Claim that you're the best. You gotta show me, son. Actions over words, baby boy. Is you real or what? Talking way too much, world come. Back sports, talking way too much, world come. Back sports, talking way too much, world come. Back sports.
Shout out to the hottest chat in the MFing game. A-side official. No negotiation needed, period. We're in 2024, and you already know. The first in the building. Salute Mike on deck. I see you. What's good? Carlos Rosado, what's good with it? I see you. Arnold Brown in the building. Andrew Charles on deck. Salute to everybody that showed up. This is one of those live streams where I want to highlight another one of my favorite fighters, the best 140-pounder out there right now, the lineal in the WBO, super lightweight world champion. I could say junior welterweight, but super sounds better. You know what I'm saying? Teofimo Lopez, however you want to call it. Gordo is back in the building. You know what I'm saying? Let's take a look at his record. 19-1, 13 knockouts. All right? He's a young 26 years of age. You know what I'm saying? Everybody knows the takeover is back. He's about to go in there and contend his fourth fight at 140 pounds. You know what I'm saying? His fourth fight at 140 pounds. Most notable in that division, he defeated former undisputed super lightweight world champion Josh Taylor. You know what I'm saying? Even though Josh Taylor had already, vacated 3/4 of his belts, still no one defeated Josh Taylor. Then you turn around and you have Teo, who was undisputed lightweight, come up here to 140 pounds, and he gets the job done in his third fight. Now, for Jermaine Ortiz, his most notable fight, real talk, was, I would say, Jamel Herring and then Vasily Lomachenko. You know what I'm saying? You got to throw Jamel Herring in there as one of his notable fights. And they was fighting for some secondary titles. But Jamel Herring is no slouch, and he's a former world champion. Vasily Lomachenko, we already know who he is, the two-time gold standard Olympian. And, he was able to go in there and contend against Lomachenko and lost via unanimous decision. But he fought a good fight, though. The fight cards was 112, 116, 111, 117, 113, 115. The one with the large disparity was from Frank Lombardi. I don't know what he was watching, but the fight was close. And then September 2023, he went there against Antonio Moran and won a 10th round UD. The good part about this fight is the fact that Teofimo Lopez' last fight was June 2023. So he's kicking off the first quarter of 2024 with a reputable name in defense of his WBO title. A reputable name in Jermaine Ortiz. I like both fighters, to be honest, man. You know what I'm saying? But Teo's my guy, man. You know, and I don't see him going in there stopping Jermaine Ortiz. You know what I'm saying? But I do see him going in there and outboxing him and putting on a performance. We all know Teo is not a knockout artist like that, but he does possess power. He can get the job done when he's on his when he's on it. He can go in there and get the knockout. You know what I'm saying? This is a nice matchup. I like how Top Rank, and shout out to Top Rank, man, the flagship of promotions. Shout out to them, who's putting on this card over there in Vegas. And for those of you that may not know where the card is at, when the card is, it's February 8th. Okay, this is on a Thursday. You know what I'm saying? Getting a little funky in 2024. This is Thursday, February 8th at the Michelob Ultra Arena, Las Vegas. You know what I'm saying? A little something different. You feel me? But it's going to be in Vegas. It's going to be in Teo's backyard. I like the flyer. You know, the colors. You know what I'm saying? They have the circle. You know, they have all, you know, the beginnings to jumpstart this year. And I really look forward to seeing the Teo and Jermaine Ortiz fight. And also on the co-main event, Keyshawn Davis returns back to the ring after, you know, popping dirty for marijuana, man. I mean, I don't see the big deal. They legalizing marijuana all over the place, man. He's going there against Jose Pedraza. This is my take on this, right? I don't know. He must have said something to somebody. There must have been some type of conversation that it was disrespect. There was some aspersions exchanged in the dialogue. I don't know what happened, man. Somebody don't like him. But I never seen a fighter test positive for marijuana and then have their last fight overturned as if marijuana was somehow providing them enhancements. I just felt it was a raw deal at the end of the day. I just think it's a lot more in boxing that people can lay their head on and think and really ponder. You know, why did that boxer do that? That was serious. Like Jarrell Miller, you know what I'm saying? Going up there and carjacking his own vehicle that been repossessed. Shit like that. But he's not going to get his previous fight overturned. You know what I'm saying? Because they're looking at it like, oh, all of a sudden we want to be very strict with this blood and urine and all this other shit. But I've never seen a fighter get a fight overturned to a no contest. But anyway, he returns, man. And a lot of people's giving Keyshawn Davis criticism because he looked mediocre in his last fight. He pretty much said it was some, you know, a medical condition he was going through or whatever. But he's going in there and fighting Jose Pedraza. Okay? And you know, it's a lot of people that's not frowning up about this fight, to be honest. Real talk. I mean, Keyshawn has his fan club, and to be honest with you, they support him heavy. Those individuals that's, you know, a Keyshawn Davis fan. He's Olympian. Can't forget that. Silver standard champion. He's 9-0. He had that last fight removed, 9-0, 6 knockouts. And he's going in there against a highly touted veteran, man. 29-5, 14 knockouts, bro. He has 35 bouts. Keyshawn has 9 professional wins now. Jose Pedraza has 35 bouts, 29 wins, 5 by way. 5 losses, 1 draw, and 14 by way of knockout. You know what I'm saying? He's coming off a loss against Arnold Barbosa Jr. But Jose Pedraza, he's no slouch, man. He is no slouch. You know what I'm saying? He went to a split draw with Richard Comey. And then Jose Carlos Ramirez, he lost to UD. So he's really coming off his last 3 fights. He's coming off 3 losses. 1 draw. So you're looking at, you can say 2/3 of it out of his last 3 fights, man. 2 of them was losses, and then he had a split draw. He's 34 years of age right now, Puerto Rican fighter, very experienced, and if you look back on it to that fateful day, the one long knockout loss that he had was from Abdul Wahid, Gervonta Davis. He stopped him in the 7th round. You know what I'm saying? So that's his lone knockout loss out of the 5 that he hosts. All right. Let me see. What's going on? Mr. International Toby Bartlett is in the building. You know what I'm saying? Salute WCS and the hottest chat in the YTC. We're global, baby. We're global. Salute to your brother. Hope all is well across the pond on your way. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to the boxing fans over there. Shout out to the boxing fans over here in 24. You already know. Shout out to Big Blunts and Boxing on deck. Salute to you. But I like this fight. I like the matchup. I like the main event and the co-main event. I like the fact that it's on a Thursday, man. Switch it up, especially in Vegas. I think a lot of people would prefer a weekday fight over in Vegas instead of a Saturday night fight. Just the whole point of flying back. I'm just saying. Just the whole point of flying back and all this other, you know what I'm saying? It give you enough time to get back home. You know what I'm saying? You got the weekend. You got one more day really before the weekend. You get back on Friday. It's good. But when you leave Vegas and fly home and on that Sunday get home, you got to go to work on that Monday. You know what I'm saying? I like this Thursday night fight by Top Rank. I like that. You know what I'm saying? I ain't going to hold you on that. I like that, for real. So up to this point, right, when it comes to me communicating with some, individuals about, I learned a bit more about Calvin Ford, situation, and that, more information is going to come out about his situation, but, you know what I'm saying, him being locked up for supposedly having an incident, after the Ryan Garcia fight. Something to that nature, man. Something to that nature. I couldn't tell you what went down because I wasn't there. But supposedly, from all the other, people that was there on site at that moment, it was a situation that popped off. I really didn't hear anything about no weapons or anything like that. It might have been some verbal exchanges and it might have got physical, allegedly. I don't know. But just keep your eyes open for that. But for the PBC fight card, though, I'm not too sure. I'm not too sure if the so-called sickness that I was supposed to get from them releasing that they was with Amazon or whatever, I guess that fizzled like seltzer water, right? That shit just bubbled to the top for no freaking reason. So that sizzled out. So we know they with Amazon Prime. But then again, the biggest question of it all is like, when are they going to release their fights? Who's going to open up for PBC? I've been hearing rumor mill is going to be Tank. You know what I'm saying? I couldn't tell you. You know what I'm saying? I'm not trying to bob and weave through this shit. January is going to be over, before you know it in 2024. And if this fight card is supposed to happen in March, what's taking so long? You know what I'm saying? What's taking so long for this fight card to be announced? Top Rank continue to lead the way. You know what I'm saying? Top Rank continue to lead the way. Like, what's taking so long in putting on a fight card to open up the year? All I was hearing how bad Top Rank do business and all this other stuff. But why are they continuing to lead the way with these fights and people, attempt to criticize them, but they're still with ESPN? Where's the fight date? Where's the schedule? Where's everything that PBC supposed to be in charge of? You know what I'm saying? They supposed to have the best administrative staff over there. They supposed to be putting on some of the grandest fights. Why don't we have a schedule? And let's not fool ourselves. We know the big names over there at PBC have looked bad in 23. So I'm curious to know who they're gonna have leading the way in 24 to make these fights. A Charlo? I don't see it. Even though Charlo said he'll be back in March. Okay, I'm looking forward to tomorrow, Charlo. But Mel, I don't know what the hell he got going on. But if it's Javante, I hope it's not against Isak Cruz. I hope it's versus somebody who we can get up for. You know what I'm saying? Especially it's gonna be pay-per-view. All Abdul's fight is gonna be pay-per-view. So I hope it's not Isak Cruz, because I really don't want to see that fight. I don't want to see that. I would like to see somebody that's in the rankings that has a bit more popularity than just the average fighter. I really want to see something special to jumpstart this year. You know what I'm saying? I want to see something special. Tank is already deemed a special fighter. You know what I'm saying? He can box his ass off. He can hunt. He's one of the best boxers in the sport. Real talk. People just tend to overlook Tank every time he's matched up with a fighter, because how tall he is. You know what I'm saying? But he continued to go in there and give you, the finish that you want. It is what it is. But I definitely don't want to go and return and revisit his rematch with Isak Cruz, a much smaller fighter than Tank. I don't want to see that shit. I don't want to see it. I just have no interest in seeing that fight at all. Now, I must reiterate, as I zip line into this topic again, I put out, some information about, Jarrell Miller and Devin Haney. And people want to always pick and choose and be very selective on who they targeted. And one thing I found out, right? If you allow people to feel that they can group up and try to bully you on a situation because that's how they show their support for, particular fighters, then don't expect me to sit back and buckle up for the ride. No, I'm a ride around with no seatbelt on. And, I'm going to have my foot on the gas. That's just the way it is. You know what I'm saying? For those of you cats that, let me back up a little bit. What I've learned about the YTC is that you can put all the effort into this and you can have your high moments, right? But those high moments aren't really that high. You know what I'm saying? It's just higher than you ever been in life. The YTC has some of these cats very, very delusional when it comes to what they said back in the day and what they say then and what they saying now. You know what I'm saying? It happened very delusional because a lot of these cats was just starting off and they was a fan of the sport. But you have a lot of guys saying that they're a fan of the sport, but yet they are a fan boy. They are a cheerleader. They're not even a fanboy anymore. They're a cheerleader. So just because I say something about a public picture that's out there for Devin Haney, which he's weighing a lot right now, but you get these guys who don't want to speak on it. But yet somebody who walks around and be in the gym all the time, they want to accuse people of being on pads and everything, and they don't walk around looking overweight for their weight class. They don't look like a weight. You know what I'm saying? All I did was put a side by side up there and say that he's going to be contending heavyweight, and people, they feel some type of way. Listen, I don't have to get up here and, you know, have a vulgar exchange with y'all online because I know what y'all trying to do. But let's get one thing clear: that these dudes that were saying that they're a fan of the sport and calling everybody else D riders because they themselves were cowards and liars. They are now getting behind these particular fighters who they didn't start off genuinely supporting these fighters. You know what I'm saying? They support the fighters because somebody in their groups supported the fighters. So when you have all these people supporting the same fighter for once in a lifetime, you know, especially in the BBC, you know what I'm saying, the bum boxing community, they want to be uniform. So you see a lot of uniformity in certain fighters that they talk about. But I just want to mention something about what BBTB said. You're trying to get on here and talk about who should get paid for fighters that they haven't met. So all of a sudden, he's on the top of the mountain, all because you chose to kiss the ring. You chose to bow your head to the very floor and get stepped on and walked over so you can pass the initiation. You know what I'm saying? You're trying to act like you were supporting Devin Haney for years upon years, and that wasn't the case. Y'all might have been supporting Deontay Wilder because he has loyalty to that community. But when it comes down to you now, trying to act like you're a new, profound voice out here, and you're trying to lay claim that what people are saying that you allegedly is on the payroll, you're trying to defend that. Don't nobody want to hear your defense. It's obvious. You told on yourself. You told Devin Haney yourself that Bill was gonna pay for your ticket to come out there. That seemed like some freaking favoritism if I ain't never seen it. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying there's nothing wrong with it, but when you talk about being, you know, compensated for supporting somebody's fighter all because you have a platform, a mediocre one at that. You have a platform where you up here, you know, you didn't build it off the strength of your own. You had to get with some people, and y'all want to support a new up and coming fighter, which is good. But you're trying to convince the people that there's nothing wrong. First, you're trying to imply that you're not, but then you're trying to turn around and make it ambiguous and say, well, if I was, it's no different than Leonard Ellaby. Negro, you're not Leonard Ellaby. You're not Leonard Ellaby. Stop the cap. And you're trying to act like everybody else think it's wrong. No, when WCS speak on it, I'm not saying that you can't support no fighter. I'm talking about the fighters who aren't genuinely, organically flipping the page each and every day talking about a fighter. I don't even do that. But when I hear you talk about it's some of y'all that should be getting paid, and you get up there and support Crawford, and you never ate with him, you never sit at the table. So what? Who has to sit at the table? You know what I'm saying? Who has to sit at the table with the fighter to support him? See, that's where y'all wrong. You have to be compensated to feel that you are part of the crew. You know what I'm saying? That's, you know, it's a lot of puckering going on. You know what I'm saying? I have to draw my words, you know what I'm saying? It's a lot of pucker factor going on. Because now people want to say, oh, you never ate at the table. You never ate at the table. Let me reiterate something. You're just now being able to be in that type of environment. It's good that you was able to get permission. Now you want to be braggadocious about sitting at the table. What table? Just because you had a table with his father? Cool. Tell me, you never been to the mansion? Listen. I know you weren't talking about me because you know better. But the whole point is that you have these cats that's being braggadocious about sitting at the table from one fighter. One fighter. Look, and then they want to tell other fighters, you haven't sat at the table, and you should be getting paid for supporting the fighter. Well, the cloth I'm cut from when it comes to the boxing is that, you support the fighter regardless if you're getting special treatment or not. That's where I'm at with it. And it's funny how you just was able to get to the table. You know what I'm saying? You just was able to get to the table. And really, that table, what's special about it? What's so special is plenty content creators at that table. You weren't the only one. You know what I'm saying? You got YTC, one of the best in the game, was at the table. You know what I'm saying? YTC was out there way before a lot of you cats. You know what I'm saying? Way before you cats. You don't hear him up here talking about, oh, well, a lot of you cats never sat at the table. Brother, you're not doing anything special. That table isn't that special, to be honest. Like, y'all don't have no idea. I'm not talking about the IKTVs. You know what I'm saying? I'm not. I'm talking about the ones who sit at the table, but we don't see any content. You talk about the mansion, but I don't see anything like Fight Hype did. You know what I'm saying? I don't see the interview in the mansion. I don't see an exclusive. Maybe, hearing this, you can get Bill to go out on the balcony and y'all can do a one-on-one exclusive. You know what I'm saying? Something special, something you can bring out of the archives and say, hey, this is what I got right here. Because I tell y'all all the time, I didn't see you when I was in Deontay Wilder's camp. I didn't see y'all, bro. I didn't see y'all when I was covering Teo. I didn't see y'all when I was covering Crawford. I didn't see it. But I mentioned Deontay because that's supposed to be, the grand poobah, the boxer that you support heavy. But I didn't see the effort to try to go there and cover this dude that fights. Y'all are just now coming into the light, and y'all making it seem like y'all been there the whole time, and you was invisible. No, you was never there, bro. Don't talk about sitting at the table. You never sat at the table with a freaking manager and talk boxing, particular fighter. You never been sitting and having lunch with the managers. You think just because someone's going on live and y'all sitting there with left hand, left knee, right knee, back straight, mouth shut, head straight to the front, mouth shut, aye, sir. Just because y'all sitting there having some freaking appetizers? Cool. But let's not try to exacerbate that table meant that you're elevating yourself in the boxing game. No, you leave the fight week and you return back to the hole. That's all. You return back to the dumpster with one bulb in it. That's all you do. Because there's no way you should be even addressing anybody else and talking about y'all haven't been to a dinner. You haven't sat at the table. You're just now getting at the table of one person? That is hilarious. That is hilarious. You know how many people I've eaten with? I didn't turn the camera on. I just dare to, listen to the conversation and all that. You know how many people? I didn't see y'all cats. Where were y'all, man? Y'all just now starting to come out in 23. And y'all feel like, oh, man, I'm at the top of the hill. No. Shh. Be quiet. You're not at the top of the hill. You're playing catch up. And you're not going to be able to play catch up because y'all don't cover fights. Y'all cover a fighter. You don't cover fights. You cover a fighter. That's a difference. You know what I'm saying? It's a difference when, I see my colleagues out there that's in the trenches covering fights. They don't need to be told what to do. You all are going there just for the entertainment factor. That's all. Y'all don't want to do anything else, man. Y'all just want to go there and say, hey, I just want to let them know that I'm attending. I'm attending. That's all. I'm attending. I'm here. I have pictures. I mean, way back in the day, you're talking about, what, 2019? You're talking about 28. I done had David McWard. I done ate lunch with the man. You know what I'm saying? Years ago. I mean, me. That's when I wasn't even trying to be on YouTube like this. I'd rather just go cover content. I said that before, but I'm gonna be honest with you. The pucker factor is on 1,000. You have these cats that's finally, being part of an economical, what they call it, budget. This is a YTC implemented, what they call it. They're implementing a new budget, for some of the YTC content creators, and allowing them to attend fights for a certain fighter. And they're hyped up about that. So much to the point where they want to try to call out or try to address other content creators that's been doing it bigger than them for quite some time. It is absolutely hilarious. And then to think, when you get on fight week, no one wants to see y'all. They wants to see the fighter. So if you dare to cover Devin, cover Devin. Don't put the camera on your mug. Nobody wants to see that. They want to see Devin. They want to see him. He's the one getting in there. He's the undisputed lightweight world champion. You know what I'm saying? He's the WBC super lightweight world champion. 2 division. You know what I'm saying? He's the one they want to see, not y'all. Y'all be up there with the camera on just laughing. That shit right there is just like, that just proves what I'm saying. Y'all was able to go in here and learn how to operate a webcam and get a mic and do a live stream, but when it comes down to actually moving, marching, being in rotation, going in these fights, getting familiar with the fight card, the fighters on the card, communicating with those fighters, even if they're not champions. Shout out to Team Tucker. Sitting at the table. How about understanding that, when somebody take you to the crib and break bread with you, they have family members that break bread with you, not just any bread. We talking about authentic Jamaican food. Dude, I come from the South and I ain't never tasted no chicken like that. Oxtails, god damn. I mean, it's there, bro. Yeah, I came and I bragged a bit, but I'm just saying, like, you acting like this stuff don't happen. It happens, bro. You know what I'm saying? Moments like that happen. But back in the day, I didn't see y'all dudes out here hustling and bustling for these fighters that you support heavy. I haven't seen you show up multiple times and get media footage on multiple fighters. I'm seeing you show up to specific fight cards where you're trying to convince people that you're not Skip Mark 2.0, but all you do is show up at his fights. No other fighter is important. You don't have permission. You're pretty much downgraded now, huh? Before you was claiming that you talk about all these fighters, but now every other thumbnail is just about him. And I get it. I have no problem with that. Do what you want. But don't get out here trying to give us a financial lecture on the benefit of someone having you on payroll and then try to convince them that you're just covering a fighter because you love them. That's how. It's not. It doesn't matter how many times you're in rotation with covering this same fighter, but you're trying to talk about people lying. So you're saying you're talking facts, but you're saying everybody else that cover these fighters are just lying. No, the liar is the one whose lips are moving. And if you look in the mirror, that's you. You're the liar. You're up here saying anything and everything to dress it up real nice. But everybody else that's covering a specific fighter that you're trying to say they should get paid, why does a fighter have to pay us? You know what I'm saying? Why does that have to be something that's, you're choosing to so-called be a part of a social media platform and cover the boxing? Why should a fighter that steps in the ring and sacrifice themselves and go through all the freaking labor, if you ain't holding a fighter's spit bucket, if you're not holding that nasty, disgusting spit bucket, why the hell you should get paid? If you're not in a fight camp for a whole 2 months, let's just say they got an 8-week fight camp, and you're there holding a spit bucket, clean up like Leonard Ellaby used to be. If you want to compare yourself to him, you can't compare yourself to Leonard Ellaby. You're trying to say, oh, that's what Leonard Ellaby. No, let's go on back to that now. I haven't seen you carrying or walking to the ring with Devin Haney. I'm just spitting facts. That's what you love to say. You're spitting facts and we're lying. You go back in the old, film of Floyd Mayweather, Ellaby used to wear a jacket. And he used to goddamn carry that spit bucket. You haven't been carrying anything for the team. You're not the cut man. You're not nothing. You're not going up there sweeping up the gym. No, they're too good. So how are you a part of the team? You can't come over here and tell me you're a part of the team. You can't sit up here and try to act like you're on a new freaking new level of elevation, all because you're trying to attach yourself in every thumbnail with Bill Haney. No, Bill Haney's put in the work. Bill Haney has put in the work long time before he even knew that you even existed. Someone who actually breathed and had a pulse like a human being. He didn't know you. Being that the YTC community is now changing where you have individuals desperately seeking attachment to a fighter. So that attachment by force and influence, they're willing to talk about a fighter every single week. And it's due to not internally, you know what I'm saying? They're genuinely supporting this fighter like that for a long time. See, the fighters I have on my favorite list, I've been supporting them for a while. Y'all just coming along, and you pretty much jumped in the same current that you was trying to drown others with criticism about. This is the same guy who was up here telling my people was D-riding. Y'all D-riding. What are you doing? What are you doing? Forget OnlyFans. All they got to do is show up to your page. What are you doing, brother? You was the same one up here talking about people was D-riding all the time. But now, all of a sudden, this cat, this all he does. This is the same cat he said he was a fan of the sport. Y'all cats just be D-riding. What are you doing? You have a new best friend. And the only thing about that situation is that you don't know how smart Bill Haney is. You don't know how smart he is. You're just willing to accept that he's intelligent enough to have a son, that he's moved throughout the sport up to the highest pinnacle, and he's been successful at doing it. But you don't really know how smart he is. You're finding that out. No matter how long you stay around Bill Haney, you'll never emulate what he has going on. You will always be an attachment along with plenty others that support him. And that's good because look, one thing I know about Bill, he's smart. He's built for these YTC streets. I don't know if you heard, but they say Bill used to be a pimp, allegedly. That's what they said, right? So he understands how to go out and recruit. You do understand that, right? You do. You do know that, right? He does know how to go out there and recruit. I'm just being as light as possible. You know what I'm saying? I look at those old pimp movies, and I look at the jargon that they used to use with them females. And then I'm like, what is Bill using for you? Because I remember, Devin made an appearance on like he always do. And I always commended Devin for not really showing up all the time. Like, Bill won't tell nobody. But, the one problem he had with me is that I exposed Skip Mark for who he was back in the day. And Bill never gave me a thank you for that. But yet he steadily tried to keep the rat on the leash after I told him it wasn't going to work out. He acted like I was trying to say some things about the brother that wasn't true. And what happened? All the backstabbing happened. You got one backstabber that's sitting up here exposing text messages that's supposed to have some type of loyalty to Bill, and sent it to Skip Mark, and then Skip Mark said, I'm not gonna support Haney no more. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna support him no more. I mean, that was a dude that was genuinely a Haney fan, real talk. I have my criticism about him, but he was genuinely a Haney fan. You knew that going in there, listen to his live, he was overjoyed about, being a Haney supporter. But at the end of the day, it was absolute straight disrespect. You know what I'm saying? Straight disrespect. And still, to this day, when it comes to his live panels that he have talking about Devin Haney, those individuals over there supported Bill Haney and Devin Haney unlike any other channel that I've ever seen post Skip Mark. Like, he had a full panel of individuals that was locked in supporting Devin Haney hard, bro. They supported him vigorously. I've never seen another channel have that many people that was rocking out with Team Haney. And then when it all came apart, same group of people was up there angered and being disrespectful. You know what I'm saying? As if Bill ain't did anything in the sport. And Bill draw any criticism however you want to see it. But one thing you can't say about him is that, he don't know what he doing with his son up to this point, and being that he is a father. So that dynamic in itself, you got to pay attention that that's one person that's built for the streets. To see him go through the shit with Batman and Gary Russell, to see him in multiple freaking, like multiple YTC wars on here, long before you niggas even had an identity, he was out here. So some of y'all are just now coming up to the surface. Tadpoles got to turn into frogs at the end of the day. A lot of you niggas is just tadpoles. And finally, you say, damn, finally, I can hop around here a little bit. You start hopping around in Vegas and found out that shit was a little bit too high. So you said, I just wanted to find out where Bill Haney stay at. He stay up there, stay at that resident right there. Okay, cool. And they just saw that little frog just continue to hop on their balcony. They just wondered, what is going on with this frog? Should we feed it? Should we give it water? That's what you are. You're not doing anything Skip Mark didn't do. Nobody come close to the panel of supporters that he had at that point in time. But due to how the YTC is made up of characters, that came and went down the shambles. What you're doing right now, brother, is nothing compared to what he was doing. But the only thing that separates you from him, he was genuinely a Haney supporter. You wasn't. You still isn't. You still aren't. Because you only supported Haney due to others supporting him. You wasn't a heavy Devin Haney fan. Go back into your catalog like I do. You wasn't a heavy Devin Haney fan. But you want to get up here and talk like, oh, I'm giving somebody a motivational speech about sitting at the table. Hey, let's see how many other people want to sit at the table with you besides Bill Haney. How many other people want to sit at the table with you? Prove to you can be, flexible a little bit, user-friendly. Find somebody else that's wearing your merch. You know what I'm saying? Because y'all cats, y'all want to wait till you go to the show, and then you want to say, oh, so-and-so know me. Oh, the other content creator. I could care less if another content creator recognize who I am. Y'all cats want people to call your name. Oh, man, that's you. Yeah. They ain't giving you no cash. Then I say, hey, man, come with me, man. Let me buy you lunch. Now, you'll probably say, oh, man, F that. Man, that's some F nigga shit, right? I ain't got no time for that. Y'all niggas y'all want to go to fights to be seen. The real ones go to fights to cover the fights. The communication that they have with the fighters is for content purposes only. If they have a deeper relationship with that fighter and the team, so be it. There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that. But to try to express this message out to people as if you're doing something on a grand level is absolutely hilarious. You're not doing nothing on a grand level because you broke bread and went to a mansion. That's the first mansion you went to? I mean, serious, that's the first mansion you went to, brother? Come on already, man. Step your game up. Real talk. Step your game up, man. You's the one said, y'all D-riding. And you have the audacity to get up here and every other live stream is about Haney. You trying to prove to people that you ain't paid? I don't care if you are or not. But I'm just saying, that brother, Devin Haney, needs genuine supporters. You know what I'm saying? And don't make it seem like you the numero uno. Like, y'all, none of y'all are really messing with Aki TV. Real talk. I mean, truth be told, y'all should be listening to Aki TV, those of you that's in that circle, and see how he breaks it all down. You know what I'm saying? He doesn't have to be a gimmick when it comes to Devin Haney. He don't have to. When he had Bill Haney on there, he's not smiling from ear to ear, and drool is coming out his mouth. His eyes are glossy. He's starting to perspire, beads of sweat coming down his brow, and he just start to blush a little bit. Oh my God, thank you. When Devin Haney shows up, you interview him like every other fighter. You start smiling and blushing. This is the same person talking about D-riding. Oh, champ. He say champ morning. Dude. Come on, man. Dude, you look crazy out here, bro. You need to step your game up a little bit. A lot, really. And you need to prove that you're user-friendly in the content, you know, in this content dominion that we in. You know, you're covering one fighter and you're trying to now act like you're in the position, you're in the place, you're in the company of those who really go out there and get it in. You're not, bro. You got a long ways to go. Just because you're covering one fighter, Devin is not going to fight 365 days. Devin is not going to fight 3 times a year, if that. So during that time, you're going to be here doing live streams, trying to convince somebody, all the real ones and the other ones is just like you, that you're in a higher position now. You act like you're sitting at the biggest table and you at some type of headquarters of authority when it comes to boxing. Like you are somewhat of an approving authority. You're not making any decisions for nobody. You what they call a cheerleader. Teams have cheerleaders, period. You just want to walk around. Bill can have 50 people with him. You're no bigger than a priority than anybody else. You know what I'm saying? They're not having a chain of command where they promoting you every time you show up to a fight and y'all working off a point system. But I'm not going to spend too much time. I just had to remind you that I was still out here. And I heard you over there, being a little bit, too overly anxious about emphasizing or pretending that you hold a hierarchy. And you're trying to tell people now, y'all should get paid for the fighters that you support and all that. Yeah, we say the same thing. I'll say the same thing, speaking for myself. You should. I don't have to. You need it. Don't try to tell other people all of a sudden, just because they're going around dropping facts, that you're trying to convince them that you are on the same line as Leonard Ellaby. Stop it. He's walked to actual ring. He's been ringside back in the day. He's put in the road work, the footwork. He's been a soldier. And now you're trying to say you sitting in a dark ass room is somewhat similar to Leonard Ellaby just because you're saying he's being paid? Man, get the heck out of here. Somebody goddamn draw blood and get this man a freaking transfusion as quick as possible. You have that much estrogen flowing through your freaking veins, boy. You start to think a little bit crazy. Real talk. Al Money on deck. What's good? Sir Foul Play on deck. What's good? It's supposed to have been like an assault that happened. He had a disagreement or whatever with, you know, a member of the team, the opposite team, when he was over in Vegas. You know what I'm saying? And I'm still trying to get some more information about it. You know, he was extradited supposedly from Maryland back to Vegas, and he was in court this Wednesday. You know what I'm saying? But to everybody that's on deck, man, appreciate y'all. Shout out to the hottest chat in the MFing game. Those of you that feel some type of way about, you know, me saying I'm not gonna be on here that much, then appreciate me when you do see me come on here. It's not like I don't know, you know what I'm saying, the sport, the combat sports that I do talk about. I know enough. I don't need to know everything. I never know everything. You know what I'm saying? But one person always told you, I just don't go off the numbers and I go to fights. Then you should appreciate that. I don't need to be on here every day. I don't need to hustle and bustle like that. You know what I'm saying? I don't need to prove anything, because when my channel got demonetized, I still showed up. I still showed up and talked to y'all. In the meanwhile, y'all hold it down. I'm out. Peace.
Left jab, uppercut, leave you laid out on the floor. Try to duck and roll, hit and miss, now you counting stars. Should've practiced more, should've hit the mask, get out there more. Claim that you're the best, you gotta show me son. Actions over words, baby boy, is you real or what? Talking way too much, world come back. Sports, talking way too much, world come back. Sports, talking way too much, world come back. Sports.
Hey, what you got to say there, champ?
Yeah, man.
What's up, Black? It's your turn. What you got to say? What you got to say? To this day! To this day! To this day!